Hi Gemini, welcome to your weekly message. So it does feel like for some of you during this week, your intelligence is really on focus. And when I say intelligence, there's a feeling here that you might be applying this huge, impactful source of knowledge that you carry to solve certain situations, to heal certain situations, to teach in certain ways. It does feel like there's a level, again, of high knowledge that some of you are applying into something. Obviously, for some of you, this will be applying your skills, right, into something like an exam where you pass the exam, or into something like in channeling to write a book or to write an essay, something on those terms more, you know. On the terms of what usually we would think of where we apply those skills and those traits. But for others of you, it will be something that will be done almost like a vessel. It's like you will be intervening in situations where you will be channeling some sort of wisdom, some sort of truth, out of the blue. Like, it's not something that I'm seeing as being a predictable event. It's something that might happen. For example, you might see people in confrontation or in disagreement, in conflict, and you might just have this ability to mediate the situation, be this mediator where you're actually helping the situation by the power of your words. And also, there's something here about the intelligence being about emotional intelligence, so being able to actually translate and break down the complexities of feelings and emotions that many times make us behave in uncivilized manners, and you actually being able to kind of help people understand and figure out what they don't seem to know and find in themselves. So some of you are acting upon situations like you're like this guardian angel, like this mediator, like this help, assistant, therapist. It does really feel like some of you have this role to play during this week, that it's not very personal. It feels like it has more to deal with you just, being in the right time, in the right place to bear your light into something, which is a message that actually showed up for your mid-October reading, so you might want to check that out. But there's definitely a feeling of you just being of help and assistance where there's problems, where there's like basically a lack of wisdom. It could also be that it's more things of the household where there might be a lot of, immaturity or childish behaviors, and you're like putting a stop to whatever is going on in your home life or in your family life that is throwing, the home environment out of balance. It does feel like all of this is to seek out this harmony, this perfect balance that some of you really want to have in place, because it feels like the disorder and chaos, it's something that is really working against what you have. It's like some of you have things you need to focus, things you need to prioritize, things you need to really do that you can't in the midst of all of this mess. So some of you are clearing out the mess, putting the mess out of your lives so that you can sit down and get into business. Obviously, the sitting down and getting to business can have many interpretations, but it does feel like it's just that moment where you put your foot down, you get things organized, you get things done, and you put this bubble of protection as well around you where you're not, distracted with things that don't matter. So I also feel like for some of you, this is more upon your own tendency to get distracted or to distract yourself with trivial things in order to run from others. It's like a sabotage mechanism that we have. It's like you know what your priority is, you know where maybe you should really be applying all your energy because something positive is going to come out of there. But again, we run from that commitment. It has to do with commitment. Some of you have some commitment issues coming up as well during this week that you're trying to work through it. So I do feel like there's a difference for Geminis that have been avoiding and running from certain situations. I feel like actually for the majority of you, I'm connecting this week is a week where you're actually calming down and acknowledging that you're just running or that this is not the way to go about it, and actually taking a step forward into admitting or confessing here something that deals with your escapism. And it could be, this is also about relationships. It could be that some of you have been avoiding confronting, your friends, your partner, people that have been kind of waiting for you or waiting for an answer, for a feedback, for validation, for your presence. I feel like some of you have not been as available to be fully heart, mind, body with others during this time. And this might be, for some of you, this has been causing you some issues, like things that you don't want to see, like issues that you have been in denial about, like for example, for Geminis that are married or are in a relationship or have kids, it feels like some of you have been not wanting to look at the needs of your partner or the needs of your child or the needs of someone else, because that would require, again, that level of commitment to give more of yourself. And it's like some of you felt or feel like you don't have enough to give. And that's really the thing, is like you run, or there's some Geminis here that run because they feel like they don't have enough to give. And there's this issue of worthiness, right, that has to be worked through as well for some of you. But the good thing is that I feel like some of you are really clearing that out of the way. It's like you're really seeing what has been the problem. So for Geminis in a whole general state, it feels like this is a week where you see where the flaw is, where the problem is, and so by seeing where it is, by spotting it in you or in others and in different situations, you're able to immediately, by seeing the problem, seeing the polarity of it, which is to find a solution. And also some of you are mastering some sense of knowledge, some sense of high knowledge. I keep getting like this high thing about you, this high intellect, this high like power you have in your mind to whatever this is. Some of you Geminis must apply that to something, right? All those ideas, all that genius like mind, all the observations, all the words you have inside you, all the philosophy, questions, insights. For those of you that are in that moment where you're realizing that you have so much going on internally when it comes to knowledge, apply that out into something, because I feel like you will feel better, you'll feel more relieved, and it will take you further into exploring your full potential and perhaps even succeeding quite a lot at it. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of October, as usual, I have a sales offer available, and for this month, it's a love special called The Ring. If you would like to know more details about that special or any other of my services, again, just email me, or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. Have a great week.